South Africa dropping points again on the World Cup Super League table. Not only is that third ODI going to be the series decider, but it's 10 crucial points if they want to come back to India next year and play in that 50-over World Cup. Makhaya, do you think they've got it in them? And what do you think they need to do to win that match on Tuesday?
No, the good thing that they're playing in Delhi, and then we know Delhi, it does suit, more or less from the betting side of things. Only thing that I would say, South Africa, they need to put runs on the board if they're betting first. And then from the bowler's point of view, they must not try and defend from ball one. They should make sure that is to try to get wickets, not by bowling wicket to wicket. Bowl outside of stump, being able to make the batsman make the mistake. That's the only thing that I think it needs to be done, when it comes to the bowler's point of view. Reza is shown is in good space. David Miller didn't show anything regarding of how we know him. I think the last 10 overs, they actually made a big mess of it. I would say that the Indians, they bowled very well, but South Africa, they didn't do anything to try and maneuver the ball or trying to get, boundaries. It was hard for them, but now they're going to the last round. They need to relax and play the game as it comes.
And what would you do about Themba Bavuma? Because it's not just a talking point for the third ODI, it's also a massive talking point for the T20 World Cup. He's only scored 11 runs in 4 innings on this tour. He's come back from that elbow injury. If it was you, Makhaya and Ntini, in that selection chair, what would you do?
That's the worst thing. And then if I would be in his shoes, I would say Vikram Pitang's shoes or Mark Boucher's shoes, I would give him a benefit of a doubt and say that because of the injury, probably he's still trying to get his form. And then you can see that he's still struggling. Yes, he's only scored 11 runs, but I think there is a time that he probably himself, he knows that what he needs to do. Regarding of the selection, I would take him to Australia, but in making sure that he trains even harder to get himself back into form. You never know. Bavuma could be the guy that brings the trophy home.
Something South Africans have been saying every World Cup since 1992, I guess. So we'll have to see whether we keep saying it. But what's in it for India now as we reach the final ODI? Is there a lot riding on winning a series? Do you think that minds have already gone to the T20 World Cup? We saw some images on social media of the likes of Ashwin sitting in the stands watching the England-Australia match. Just how much focus do you think there will be on this match, the final match, the decider?
I think the guys who are playing it with those, I think they'll be will be keen to put up a show again. All these youngsters, like I said, a lot on the line for them for the future series, for the future selection. So another good performances from them obviously will highlight their selection in the future games and the series on the line as well. And likewise for South Africa, it's a World Cup qualification. That will be a huge disappointment if South Africa doesn't qualify. If they get into that race, team like South Africa, I think that will be a big disappointment. So lot to play for South Africa, I feel, more than the India. But I think India will be looking to win the series. All these youngsters, will get another opportunity. They don't know what happens after that. Everyone's focus is going to be on that T20 World Cup. So one big game for all these youngsters, and they would want to, win the last game in style and win the series as well.
Just as a last thing before we sign off, Makhaya, there's probably still one spot in South Africa's T20 World Cup squad up for grabs because of Dwayne Pretorius having fractured his thumb. Do you think we're going to see an Andile Peklukwaya or a Marco Jansen in that final ODI? And do you think that's their audition? Or do you think maybe the decision of who will replace Dwayne Pretorius has already been made?
Cross fingers. I wish that Andile could get that opportunity. Yes, he hasn't been in good form, but there is no way that Marco Jansen will come in as a replacement and jump over Andile while he was, he's been there since, the beginning of the tour. I know that, we are not the selectors, but at the same time, you probably say, Wayne Parnell, you must take a break, or Kagiso Rabada, you take a break. And then we see another left armer, because Jansen, yes, it's one of those guys that we know that he has done very well from the test match point of view, but now it's a different story. It's an ODI. Is be able to take the pressure, or Andile will be given his opportunity as well to showcase and see if he's still able to showcase his skills.